Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. So on this channel, something that I try to do is admit when I've gotten something wrong. I believe that I act in good faith, that if I get something wrong, even if I had the best of intentions, even if I got something wrong because of an accident or a mistake, even if it wasn't intentional, if you're going to have any trust in me whatsoever, if I'm expected to have any integrity with my audience, I really should admit it and not make excuses for what I did. I've done that many times over the years. With the Henrik Husby case, which I got wrong, I did 3 videos going over what I got wrong. When I covered Nissan and a privacy policy, I went over the different things that I did not bring up in that video that would have added greater context to the situation. When I got something wrong with Synology, I made sure of that. When I got iCrack's entire business model wrong, I made sure that the people that watched my videos at the time, that listened to my criticisms, understood that they were wrong because my company couldn't be sold for $100,000, whereas that company probably got sold for 10 to 20 million. And one of the things that bothers me more than anything else is not when somebody gets something wrong, because we're all going to get something wrong. It's a combination of when they knew they were lying at the time, they get called out for it, and there's no consequences. That's something that genuinely kills me. I don't know how many of you remember this piece of testimony. This came from a gentleman named Charlie Brown that works for CTA, the Consumer Technology Association. CTA puts on a show called CES that I will never go to, fund, or patronize because they pay individuals large salaries to give testimony like this in front of legislators that they know are not true.
What I will say is that supercomputer that's in your pocket, which you say is an iPhone, there's a warranty that goes along with that, and there's an authorized network of people that we have vetted who know how to repair that phone and do it under warranty so that you can still feel confident that what you're getting back is a phone that does not have Tik Tok put onto it.
Now, he is implying that if right to repair passes, that there is a chance of Tik Tok being put on your device. When you go to get a screen repair, a charge port repair, or a motherboard repair, that my priority is not to bill you a few $100s or $50 and fix your device, but rather my priority, my incentive structure is to put Chinese software on your phone that's going to spy on you or mess with you, because that's how I make my money. So I thought that we would do something here that is just a little instructive. The first thing that I think we're going to do is we're going to go to CTA's own website to try and understand who their sponsors are. If we were to go to the Consumer Technology Association's website, members.cta.tech, and we were to search their members directory, you're going to note that Samsung is one of their members. You'll probably note it a lot faster if you don't have Spectrum Internet like I do, but you'll see that they are a core member. Now, there are a number of things that Samsung has done that make it very interesting that this gentleman was able to get away with lying to legislators and implying that we were putting TikTok on people's phones. That the entire point of an authorized repair network that their members have is to avoid TikTok being put on your phone. Last year, I pointed out that Samsung was pre-installing TikTok on customer phones, and you could see that I kind of had a little bit of a meltdown there. This says when setting up a new Samsung A40, you need to install TikTok for finishing the setup. Only after installing it can you delete the application. So this gentleman, Charlie Brown, that works for the Consumer Technology Association, implied on behalf of CTA and Samsung, their members, that their authorized dealer networks specifically exist to prevent TikTok from being installed on a customer device. Yet here is one of his prime members pre-installing TikTok on a device. This is something that I covered in a video that I did last year because it just drove me crazy that these people get away with it. But wait, it gets better. This is the thread, how to delete an app on my new S90 CD 77-inch OLED. Is there any way I can delete applications I'll never use off this new TV? And I quote, right out of the box, it says that 2.8 gigabytes are used up with about 1.1 gigabyte available. I want to remove things like Google Meets and TikTok. Because not only does Samsung pre-install TikTok on your phone, they pre-install it on your television. But when they want to fearmonger a legislator to not allow us to be able to repair their hardware, that's when they'll claim that independents pre-install TikTok on your hardware. But when it's time to make some money off of the manufacturer, that's when they're happy to pre-install TikTok on your hardware. How many of you have had TikTok pre-installed on your hardware by a manufacturer that's represented by CTA? How many of you have had TikTok pre-installed on your hardware by your cousin or your nephew that knows how to fix computers, that helps you out when you get spyware on your Windows installation, or that fixes your cracked screen? Because I sure haven't. I have never in my life met a small repair shop owner that made money off of pre-installing TikTok on customer devices. And dare I say it, I have never in my life heard even an anecdotal story of a customer having TikTok pre-installed by an independent repair shop. You know why I haven't heard of that story after 15 years in the industry? Because it's never fucking happened. In spite of that, that man is able to talk and make things up, and he probably still has a job. He probably still lobbies against right to repair. He probably makes more money working for CTA than I'm ever going to make off of my own company and YouTube combined, and nobody holds them accountable. Because we currently live in a sociopathic world where the people that own when they get something wrong do worse than the people that never do. We have this weird thing in America. We admire the bravado of people that never admit that they're wrong. And to be clear, there is something to admire about people that never back down in the face of adversity. But that's very different from the disgusting character trait of never backing down when you're wrong, particularly when you lied, particularly when you knew it was a lie at the time. Do you know how I know that he knew that that was a lie when he said it? Because there is not a single cited instance of an unauthorized repair shop installing TikTok on a customer device. I'll wait. I have all day. Google it. Find me the story. I dare you. Find me this repair shop like Tim Herman's TCRS Circuit or Jessa Jones's iPad Rehab or Jason's business at SDS Telecom that has pre-installed TikTok on a customer device. They haven't, because there's no incentive structure to, because it's false, it's bullshit, and it never happened. Will this person ever pay the price for lying? Will anybody at CTA ever pay the price for lying? Probably not. And here's the part that bothers me the most. Here's the part that pisses me off the most about all of this. You will have people that work for CTA that will get live on stage and go, I have no idea why people are talking about planned obsolescence, like it's some sort of conspiracy theory. Why would these people believe in these weird conspiracy theories? Which I talked about in this video. Do you know why people believe in these conspiracy theories? Do you know why? Because you lie, you make shit up, you never get held accountable for it, and there are no consequences for you. And we tend to assume the worst when you make things up. You know you're making things up. You never take accountability or responsibility for slandering a $4.6 billion industry that is mostly small business and get away with it. It disgusts us to our core when you lie in the pursuit of removing our freedoms to do what we want with what we own and have sovereignty over who repairs our devices. I'm tired of it. You may think I come off as crazy. You may think I seem a little angry or a little pissed off or dramatic. Do you know why? It's because I've been in this business for 15 years. And for 15 years, I've watched pieces of garbage like this get away with gaslighting the general public with these garbage slogans, with these garbage conferences that they never get called out on. One of the things that's really stunned a lot of us in the industry is the assumption of so many folks out there in the general public that manufacturers are somehow against reuse. I wonder why we'd think that when you lie about us. There seems to be an underlying assumption that the manufacturers want to sell as many products and have them die as quickly as possible. That seems to be almost one of the accepted truths out there, and I'm not sure exactly where it came from, because certainly I've never seen it. How about you look within your own organization where people lie about our industry and slander it and never get held accountable? How about you apologize for lying about us for years? How about you stop bullshitting us? Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm crazy angry for no good reason, or do you think that this is a rational level of anger to have after 15 years of the same thing? There's this weird thing that people have where they assume that anger in any form whatsoever is a bad thing. If you are angry to the point where you take your spouse and you start beating them, by all means, you have a problem. But I've never seen a problem with anger when it is healthily and non-violently channeled into the defense of your human dignity. When somebody takes my dignity and takes a crowbar to it in front of a legislator and has no consequences for it, I think that is a perfect time to be angry. And, yeah, Samsung ever going to get held accountable for this? CTA ever going to get held accountable for this? Is Charlie Brown ever going to be held accountable for this? Probably not. What do you think? Do you buy devices that have TikTok pre-installed on them? I sure don't. I hope you don't either. And if you're curious to figure out which devices have TikTok installed on them, I suggest you check out CTA's member directory. It's a great place to start if you want to avoid buying devices that have Chinese spyware pre-installed on them against your will. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. If I'm still here, bye now.